I'm thinking they pay more attention to the overall look and neglect the mechanical, part of the project to make it. I mean, if you can't drive it and it be somewhat reliable, you're not going to want to fix up the rest of it. So, but anyway, yeah. So to answer the question, obviously restoration on a vehicle has a lot to do with what you start with. Okay. If you bought a car that maybe has had some type of restoration done to it, maybe it's got new paint, it's got new interior, well, then the focus needs to be on, and really should be on any project in the beginning, is the overall bones of the car, the structure, the skeleton of the car. Has it been wrecked? Has it had repairs done to the structure? Is any of that structure in a condition that would make the car unsafe? So obviously the condition of a car sometimes is going to determine really what the most important points of your restoration need to be and how they need to start. General, I would say mechanical, okay, is the things that I would focus on. If you've got a good chassis, a good body, in other words, you don't have to have rust repair and a lot of body work and stuff like that, mechanical is really, what you need to focus on. The car's got to be safe to drive. You got to have good suspension under it. Regardless of the motor package that you pick out, whether it's high horsepower, low horsepower, or just something to get you down the road, it needs to be mechanically sound and reliable. If you can't go a half a mile without it breaking down all the time, then what good is it going to do if the paint's all shiny and you got this brand spanking new interior and all these new door handles and everything else on it? So you want to be able to get the car in a condition mechanically to where it's safe and you can start enjoying the car. I call these types of restorations driver restorations, okay? Because you're going to be restoring it while you drive it and enjoy the car. So I think mechanical is probably the first thing to consider on any restoration if you're doing it at home on your own. Yeah, and that's that's a very, in today's market, it's very desirable now to just attend one of the local auctions and try to pick up a car that you hope has already had a lot of work done to it, and you can maybe get a good deal on the car. The one thing that I would advise any new classic car owner that's looking to purchase a car, and we've covered this before on a couple of videos, we've touched bases on it, but and that is, it's real important to at least take somebody with you that has knowledge of what to look for on these cars, because at auctions and different sale venues like that, there are a lot of people, a lot of little shops that will try to just fix up cars just to make money on them and flip them at auctions. And so obviously the most important thing to them is making money on the car. So unfortunately, a lot of times that has to do with taking shortcuts. They know first appearance of a car is everything. So when you walk up to a car, if it's got the right tire and wheel, if the car's got the right stance and sits good, paint shiny, got a new interior, and runs, then they are looking to score a big sale. Now, you get this car home, or you bring it to a shop like us for us to do a full 200-point inspection on the car. We go over the chassis, the interior, all the electrical, everything about the car. And unfortunately, there's so many times that customers bring them to us after they've purchased them, straight from the auction. We do our inspection on them, and then that's when we start finding all of the shortcuts that were taken. Sometimes the shortcuts aren't aren't something that's bad. It's just done not necessarily correct. But then there's other times where they've taken all kinds of junkyard parts from all different kind of cars and somehow made them fit and work on a car, and they all be totally incorrect for the model car that they've got. The car drives terrible and the whole 9 yards, but it looked great going across the auction block. So it's real important to have somebody that knows what they're looking at to save you a lot of money in the end. For one, you may be able to get the car a lot cheaper if these things are pointed out to the seller to maybe negotiate a better price on the car, and it will keep you from having a car that you're going to turn around and spend double what you spent on the car just to get it back correct. And that's it's something you really have to watch for. Yes, it happens a lot, and we're very happy to help people in need anywhere in the country. It doesn't make any difference. We get calls from all over the United States. You can call us. We'll be glad to talk with you on the phone if you've got something that you're in question about. Even if you're at the auction, you can call us. Nowadays with technology, you can take your phone, snap a shot of it, text it over to us or email it to us, and we can discuss it with you on the phone. We're perfectly happy to help with that kind of stuff, and at no charge, so we'd rather see you get a good deal and not get taken. Well, if you're okay, so the person that you take with you, let's just say you're a great mechanic. Okay, you can look the car over, you can tell if it's got the right motor in it. You can tell if the parts are put together right. You can look at mechanical stuff. Okay, well, take a buddy along with you that knows a lot about paint and body work, or knows something about rust repair, and maybe has some insurance background or collision damage, background, that he can look the car over and check all the collision points on the car to make sure that the car hasn't been wrecked, or if it was wrecked, that it was repaired correctly. Because you can have a great motor in a car that's a piece of junk, and you didn't do yourself any good. Well, yeah, there's, if there's, obviously there's going to be things involved with restoring a car, that you're going to have skills in certain areas. You're going to have proper tools and equipment. So a lot of people will buy a project and say, "Oh, I'm going to restore this thing," and they get it home. They start. They're great at taking things apart, maybe putting things back together, but they get it apart and then they find, hidden rust issues, chassis issues, structure that's been repaired poorly, different things like that. Now you're talking about the skill of knowing how to do frame and structure work, sheet metal work, welding, on top of knowing that, having all the equipment, the proper welders, the proper hammers and dollies and chains and stuff that you need to fix that platform back. I always tell people, restoring a classic car is like building a house. If you can build the most beautiful house, but if you built it on a dirt lot with no foundation under it, it's not going to last very long. So a car is the same way. If you don't fix all of these structural issues, that's the slab, that's the foundation. Everything else you do, you're wasting your time and money. So we don't mind helping. We get a lot of what I call father-son assist projects, where the father and son has started those type of jobs at home, run into the rust issues, and they call us up and say, "Hey, we need quarter panels, floors, whatever put in the car." We will schedule the car in, do just that work for them, so they can pick the car up, they'll get it back home, and continue on with their project. Hey, guys, I know I probably stretched that out a little bit, but hey, I enjoyed talking with you guys today, and I'm glad you tuned in. Be sure and check us out. Check out the rest of our videos. We really would like to see you subscribe to our channel. We've got a lot more videos coming. We're going to really try to get into some of these cars. We've got some updates on some of the projects coming. So be sure and tune in, hit like on the videos that you really love, and we'll be back to see you.